Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we're going to be continuing on our top 25 game-wide statistics series with the top 25 strongest players in the game. Now, this is off current power, not historical power. Of course, I have to make a note, along with just a few other important prefaces here, which is one, date and time range that the data was collected was on the 16th across a 2 to 3 hour window. This was closer to reset, but a bit before. Number two, the kingdom range we collected or we reviewed data for was kingdoms 1 through 184. So any of the merged kingdoms that have those kingdoms in them from that range, that's where we looked. Number three, always keep in mind that if you look at any of these players now, unless they're fighting or they're doing something that's going to cause their power to drop, they're most likely going to be stronger than where they were. Why? That's because we're just taking a snippet in that moment, right, where we capture and we basically write down their power at that time. Number four, one of the things I would love to see them add in the game, and I'm always going to keep talking about this because I think these two things are incredibly important, especially and in addition to when we show off data. One, I should say 4A, if I want to be technical here, is home kingdom leaderboards. Home kingdom leaderboards are incredibly important because it will show you, sure, it will still show you what the alliance power is, but it allows for us to actually separate and look at what the individual kingdoms are doing. And we can actually not only compile accurate home kingdom data from server power to player power to kingdom, because we don't necessarily know which kingdoms, home kingdoms these alliances are from when you're just looking at it at face value. The only way to figure that out is by asking players. Like if it's me or if it's someone that doesn't play there, there's no visual aid in game. There's no identifier, there's no number on their profile, nothing. So adding something like that in, I truly believe, without a doubt in my mind, will not only help being able to assess how a kingdom's health is overall, but you'll be able to actually know just where people are playing, and then we can more accurately show off which kingdoms are at maybe which rank or which strength level, which activity level, etc. Then the 4B is having alliance cap resets. So, or I should say not having alliance cap resets, where when you have an alliance ending season 1, let's say it's at 160 over 175, going into that next season, even if the capacity number lowers, the total amount of players in the alliance should not. So that 160 players that are in your alliance season 1 should still be in the alliance going into season 2 and onwards. If you want to change the cap number and lower it to, obviously it would be 80 going into season 2, it's 40 for season 1, and you want to relower it back to 80, or you want to already have it set where the member cap increase tech is already maxed out going into a future season, so it's just less you have to grind to get your member capacity above the current amount of members you have in your alliance, that's fine. But at minimum, I would like for players to not have to get kicked out of the alliance. They should just stay in the alliance, even if the member capacity number, which is the number on the right, lowers the number on the left, which is the current number of players in the alliance, should not change. I think that would incredibly help player satisfaction, quality of life improve drastically. So those are my two things. And the very last thing I'm going to mention here is for those of you that have been asking and wanting to support the channel or support me in other ways beyond YouTube, we do have a Patreon set up. You can find a link to that in the pinned comment description down below if you're interested. With all that being said, let's get right into it. We're going to do our big unveil here, which is bam. Right, we're not kind of doing the one by ones anymore. So here we go. We're going to work bottom up as usual. So we got number 25 on our bubble position, our boy Dozzers at 136.37 mil from S2-1. Also take note that S2-1 technically is S2-1001 or 1001. I'm just using an abbreviation because we're not at S2 2000s yet. We're still in the 1000. So just so that's clear. Then we get to number 24, LTS is extinct, 136.48 mil from S1-33. And any of the kingdoms that are in S1 that you see, like the S1 dash or whatnot, these are Season 1 plus kingdoms. Just to make that clear, even though I didn't put a plus, could have. Just totally forgot. Number 23, BDO's Trauma, 137.78 million, S2-2. We got number 22, LV Popo Cutie, 138.43 from S126. Number 21, ETS Snapcaster, 139.17 mil, S1-29. At number 20, breaking into our top 20, DNS DF, 142 mil, S2-2. Number 19, OGA Optimus Prime Z, 147 mil, S2-8. Number 18, BTR Soren, 147.86 from S1-29. Number 17, DNS King C, 148 mil, S2-2. Number 16, TWB2 Tikimo or Tekimo? Have to let me know if I'm saying either of those right. 150.40 mil. We got S2-3. Number 15 from TFS, the lovely lady that we interviewed a while ago, which was absolutely fantastic. He'd won at 155.32 mil from S2-4. Right above number 14, NK's Evil Noon, 155.38 mil from S2-2. Number 13, ROG's DACA, 157.48 mil from S1-30. Number 12, BDO's The Dude Bro, 157.97 mil, S2-2. Number 11, LNV Bodie McBoatface. Love that name. 162 mil from S2-3. NK's FLV, 168. I feel like this is flying related. I don't know why. It's just the immediate thought that comes to my head. 168.34 mil, S2-2. DNS's another DF. I know I should have totally translated that. I keep forgetting. 173 mil, S2-2. Breaking in, again, further into our top 10 now in our top 8. END's Toxic. Really like the way that's spelled, too, for some reason. 176 mil, S2-6. Number 7, TFS's A Northern Light, 189 mil, S2-4. BDSL Lagunas. I do like the way this is spelled. 200 mil, our first 200 mil breakthrough, S2-2, at least on this board, I should say. Number 5, TFS's our other boy, Jay Geezy, Jason Gee. 203 mil, 203.45 mil, because there's one above, and S2-4. Number 4, our boy, the minion himself, FSK's Kyle. 203.90 mil, S2-11. Then we get to our big top 3Z, player from NK, 205 mil, S2-2. Big top 2s here. We got TFS's Southern Light, 208 mil from S2-4. And then we got the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who has broken, the first person to break 500 mil so far. And again, I'm assuming NAF is probably already stronger now, but BXS's Nephisto, right, where we clocked him in at 500.03 mil from S2-3. So just wild stuff, right? You remember last NAF was, when we did it about a month ago, because obviously so much fighting, 178. So literally in a month's time, he's recovered 322 mil points, which is more than double his power. Just wild. Right? I mean, you could argue almost 3 times the amount. So, and you can see here at 715, he was 350 mil, right? So in 2 months' time, he dropped almost half and then basically tripled up to recover going in to the new season. So just wild when you think about that. Again, I totally forgot to do some differentials here on ups and downs. I was so sickly yesterday when 2 days ago when I started kind of pulling the data. So my fault. I'm definitely gonna try and get this in the next one because I know people have been asking me about it. They're like, hey, we love seeing the differentials, and I know it's my own fault for just forgetting. Have been recovering from what appears to be a sinus infection, so thankfully I got some antibiotics as the lady forced me to go to the urgent care over the weekend. So yeah, but it's kind of running through the household right now, so I'm just the latest victim of the group. However, some things to note. If we remove NAF as an example, you could see that the kind of top end here is still increasing, right? If you look at something like 195 and then 208, right? So you're looking at, a plus 13 mil increase. But the thing I like is at the bubble, right? You always hear me talk about the bubble position. I like that the sandwich is getting smaller and not necessarily getting larger, right? For my in-and-out brethren or fam out there, right? Instead of us just ordering a single, right? We're ordering a 4x4 or 5x5, but we really like the double, right? So something kind of in the middle. So here you got BXS Poppy 119, and then you got 136, right? So you're looking at essentially a plus 17 mil increase, right? That's a little bit more than the top end if you're looking Southern Light to Southern Light, right? With kind of Nest being with Nephisto being the outlier. So you're seeing the bubble that's rising a little bit more than the top end is. And that to me is, I always like that. And again, it's not as though you're really ever going to be able to plan for that because it really just comes down to how much people are going to spend at that point. But I like that it at least feels like the top 25 is getting a little bit closer, even if it's very small increments, we'll say. So with that in mind, that is going to do it for us, right? This is our top 25 strongest players off of current power. I also want to give you guys a little bit of a preview because we're going to be doing a few other things here as well this time around. I've been getting requests from people that would love for me to do units killed, units dead, units healed, RSS assistance given, and then I think I made something for Oh, I didn't. Okay, yeah, I didn't make anything for historical power yet. But just to give you an example, I don't know if my game is loaded up yet. Let's see. So... Oh, okay, here we go. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Oh, wow, I don't even know what just happened. Is this going to load up for me or no? Okay, it's going to reload. But let me give you an example here in a moment once this loads up of what those four are going to be. So if you're here, you're getting a little bit of extra. Of course, if you only came just to see the stats, that's cool. Not really. It's all right. But I'm going to show you here in a moment because this is something, again, I have been getting asked about a while. So I thought to myself, we'll try it, but I got to get through my main stuff first. So let's say I go onto the rankings and I just look at anyone here at the top. So if I go to more info on a player profile, right, we can see here where we talked about units killed, right? So we're thinking of that, units dead, units healed, and then potentially like total resource assistance given, right, which shows how much RSS are you giving out. The thing I liked about this is again, bearing in mind, kills is kind of self-explanatory because you can obviously gain that in the open field. Dead, you can only gain on rallies at the moment, whether that's on a structure, a pass, or a player city. And then units healed, right? How much healing? And again, I'm debating on healed actually now that I think about it because healed, I don't know if this is healed out in the open field or if this is just healed from your hospital. Like how much units have you healed in your hospital? So I'm iffy on this one. Someone might have to let me know. I guess I'm figuring both are factored into this. So I'll probably give that a second thought. But then total resource assistance given, I thought this would be nice because it would at least show you who are the top givers out there, right? Who are the players that are handing out the most amount of resources to their teammates or their friends, right? This would probably be a category where more than likely, right, spenders would be there. And then I was maybe even thinking about doing like the amount of helps, like who's given the most amount of helps, because this to me is something that free-to-play could potentially be. So maybe I'll swap out healed with alliance helps given. Because I think this one should be counting for total helps across the board. Now that might take a little more time to gather. So again, we'll see. I don't think this is only specific to one alliance. I think this is just total alliance helps given, regardless of any alliances that you've been in. So yeah, so we'll see. And then maybe gems gather. I don't know. You guys have to let me know. What do you think? What do you think would be cool to see here? Off of the player profile if I wanted to do another data set. Just let me know in the comments down below. And of course, anything you guys thought about for the current top 25 player rankings, that's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.